Hey guys, it's Jason, and I'm here with...
I'm Katie.
And today, we're going to take a look at a cool little dice game-ish called Shelfie Stacker. So Shelfie Stacker is a game from Shem Phillips, Raiders of the North Sea, Viscounts, Paladins, all of the inns and Vikings and stuff.
Mostly about anything about Vikings. Shem probably was.
It's not from Garfield Games though. It's from Arcus. Plays 1 to 4 players, 30 minutes, and that's probably long. But box has 30 minutes, so that's a little bit of what the game is.
So in this game, you are curating your board game collection, which is a little existential.
It's meta.
It's definitely meta. So you're getting shipments of games, and then you're going to stack them on your shelf. The games are represented by really cute little die. And in almost Sagrada-like fashion, you're going to put them in your shelf, making sure that the same color of game is in a column by itself. And also there are some end of game patterns that you're going to use to score and also help you figure out where to put your shelf and where to put your game on your shelf. When you're deciding that, you're drafting the different types of games, and you're going to use these fun little gamers to help you. And that's pretty much it.
Always gotta slam it down on the table.
Sorry, I'm emphatic. We'll talk about how good the game is later.
So, with all that being said, let's go down to the table. Check it out. Alright, so here's a game of Shelfie Stacker, all set up for a solo game. And in this solo game, I'm going to be playing the Beat Your Score variant, just because it's like a puzzle, and I just don't want to be stressed out when I'm playing a solo game. So it's going to basically set up like a 2-player game with a few differences. Instead of using all 3 of the goal cards, there's a person that you can use. There's like a pattern first to do these goals, and there's an in-game goal. But in this one, we're going to have 2 in-game goals, which I've done. You're going to get your big shelf, your shelf of shame, your scoring card. There's still going to be 3 boxes of dice here. But the cards that I pick, the 8 cards I pick, I'm also going to pick the same 8 cards for the bot, and they're going to be flipping and removing some dice. That's all that's going to happen. They'll flip and they'll take 3 dice. So they may be before me, they may be after me, but that's what happens. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the most points I can get to just beat my score. The best score that you can get, it shows you right here. It's going to give you the breakdown. If you can get above 70, then they've said that you succeeded. So that's what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and get started. So on my turn, I'm going to, just like the normal game, I'm going to pick a card. And I'm going to go ahead and start low so we can just see what happens. All right. So then what happens is I'm going to flip my card. Then their cards get shuffled and they're going to flip their top one. Low number activates first. So I get first dibs at taking the dice that I want. So I think I'm going to take this one. And I will go 2, 4, 2. When you place dice, you have to start at the bottom. And you have to go a higher number up. So that's why I placed it like this. And you can have to keep the same number, same color in a column, unless you have a card that lets you say otherwise. Then I can also have the special ability that I can use. I can return 1 dice from my big shelf to my box for this round only. So that's going to basically give me some room to reorganize. And they did a 7. Now what happens with them, all you're going to be looking at for them is this bottom section right here. So the number of when they fire and the bottom. They're going to take the middle one as their first pick, unless I take it, and then they're going to take the one that I took as their second pick. So I didn't take their first pick, so they'll take this one. And they're out of the game. And then, like the normal game, these go back into the bag, and we refill the boxes with 3 random dice. You don't have to roll them because they're in the bag, so whatever happens, happens. But if you want, feel free to roll them. Doesn't really matter. All right. So then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to pick a card, and I'm going to take some dice. Ooh, these are scary. These are scary. And I'm going to play this one. All right, so I'm going to play this, a 5, They are going to play a 13, so I still get first dibs. Okay, so I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to use this special ability here. It's going to let me return one die from my big shelf, which is this one, to the box for this round only. When you use it, you can turn it sideways so you know that you used it. And I'm going to turn this one back. So, nope, wrong one. This one back. And now I get a place. 6s are wild, so a 6 can be any number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this 6 to a 3, if I can find the 3. Then I'll have to put this one on top here. I don't have to, but I'm going to. And then I'm going to put the 3 here, which is the whole reason that I picked it up. Picked up the 4 because I want to put the 3 before the 4. And that is my turn. And they are going to take, they want first dibs on the one that I took, but their second choice is this one, so they remove these. All right, now we will go, I'll show you one more round, and then we'll talk about in-game scoring. So we got 3, 3, and 3. All right, and I'm going to pick a card again. And I'm going to, do I want any of these? Yeah, okay. I'm going to go with this number 1. So I'm going to play the number 1. That's the card that I'm playing. So if they play number 1, then we'll have to do the tiebreaker. Let's see. They play number 1. They have the tiebreaker because they have a lower number than me, a lower letter than me. They have a C. I have an F. So they want to get rid of these. So now I get to pick from the remaining ones. And I think I'm going to take these. So I'm going to put the 5 here. Then I'll put the 3 here and the 4 here. And that's my turn, and these 3 are put back in the bag. All right, and that's how the game's going to keep going until you've played 7 of the 8 rounds. And you're going to know when you've hit the last round because you'll have 1 card left. Then after that, you're going to score points based on this card here. So every column you have up here is worth 6 points. Every column you have up here with the highest die up to here is worth 3. Same thing right here. So if I ended the game like this, I would have 3, 4 points because 3 for this one, 1 for this one. Then you're going to add up the pips on the highest. So if, again, at the end of the game here, I'd have 14 points. Then you're going to score these end of game goals. So I'm going to get 3 points for every 3. So I'd get 1, 2, 3, 9 points. And then score points per dice of the color that you have the least of. So I have here, I'd get 4 points for that. So that is it. And that's how you play Shelfie Stacker. Let's go up top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that is Shelfie Stacker. I did a solo playthrough, but it plays the same. It's going to look the same with 2, 3, or 4 players, the way the game works and the way you're stacking things on the shelf. So just keep that in mind. What it looks like is how the game actually plays. So what do you think about this?
I really like this game. I liked it when I saw it on Kickstarter, and of course we didn't back it. Shocking.
Everybody knows, okay? Cheapskate, you got it. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made.
But we were able to pick it up after playing one of our friends' copies. And I really like, my favorite part of it is using these kind of special powers that you get from these different gamers, even the cat and the Shelfie Snapper and the Neat
Because
Freak.
every gamer has a cat for some reason. Like, I don't know. There's no dog in here. It's cats.
No, it's true. And I like that you choose like half of the possibilities and everyone else is choosing their own. So you don't really know what's going to come out. You're looking for player powers that are going to help you, but also that number then is going to help you like what kind of turn order you're going to draft. So deciding what card to play, like how bad do you want a certain box of games.
Well, and the higher number cards are better.
Right.
But they fire off last.
Right, versus a player power that you really want.
Right, yeah.
Like, I like that kind of addition to it. I think that really ups the factor as far as when you get to play that you kind of miss in like a Sagrada type game, which I think is really great. I also, I mean, they're not that exciting, but there's something about this little tray of all these different dice that...
Yeah, the weird thing is you don't even really roll the dice.
No.
You just pull them out of a bag. You could roll them, but the rulebook says you don't have to roll them because pulling from a bag or rolling is still random, so it doesn't matter. But they are cool. And the components on this game are top notch.
They are really great. Like
look at this calyx. It's a calyx shelf.
And a little shelf of shame.
And it even says like IKEA on the back, kind of. But it's not really IKEA because they don't want to get in trouble.
Birdkea, cheap cheap.
Yeah, so it's cool. And I really like this game too. It's way better than Sagrada in my opinion. Like the cards make all the difference in the world. Like Sagrada has those stupid little crystal things.
Right.
And they're cool, but you can use like one of them because it gets so expensive the more that they get used, and it's just crazy. So the cards are just amazing. They have really awesome art. All the games are parodies except for Shim's games. They're legit. Yeah, he can use his own games. So the components are great and the game is solid.
And I like the scoring guide. Like I feel like what can sometimes be an overwhelming way to score, they make it really clear, so it's really easy going in to see what is going to score.
You just put it like this and then you can see everything you got going on.
And then at the end you just go down the list and everybody gets their score. Like I think that makes it easy. It is quick to play. I've only played this at 4 players, and once you draft it, you're kind of placing things and you can really kind of do it simultaneously. So it keeps the game moving, which I think is always great. Sometimes drafting games, it takes longer because of that. But, and then it's just a conflict of you're puzzling out where you're going to put the different games that you chose and if you're going to use your powers, which I really enjoy that. I think it's like a nice balance between that puzzle but not being brutally punishing. And there's an expansion I've heard that I wish we had.
It's coming out in October. It's not out yet.
Oh, yeah. But I can't wait to have.
So, we both like this game. So what would you give this game on a rating scale? Either a 10, from a 1 to a 10 or a 1 to a 5. So a 7 out of 10 is accepted. And then I can convert it to wrenches if you don't want to do that.
I would say a 4 out of 5.
So that's an 8 out of 10 on BGG. So I would probably agree with that. This is 8. Even I played a couple games solo just today, and it was awesome. So I would stick with an 8. So that's 8 out of 10 on BGG. 4 out of 5 wrenches on the arbitrary wrench scale. That means nothing, so BGM accepted, is what we're telling you.
And for me, like a rating, it's not just about like, oh, how great it plays. Like we have so many more games that are heavier than this. But this is a great game to play with other people. It can help draw people in with like the kind of fun theme and the artwork. And it's also, but yet complicated enough for us to enjoy. And I'm excited to play it 2 players because we haven't yet. So I'm glad it's part of our collection now.
Yep, it's a great game. So that is Shelfie Stacker from Shim Phillips and Arcus. And you had the box sideways, but that's okay. But it was nice. It was a nice try. It was all good. So that's Shelfie Stacker from Shim Phillips and Arcus. And I've been Jason.
And I'm still Katie.
And as always,
keep gaming, everybody. Gaming.